I'm not Amy. I thought I was Amy and Amy with a Y. That was an old crazy crafter joke. uh, Amy with a Y. They're saying no sound. That was an old crazy crafter joke. Amy with a Y.
Sound issues are my
no
thing.
Sound. That was an old crazy crafter joke. I hear you. Echo everywhere. One moment, folks. I can hear you on Zoom, yeah. Sing us some hold music. You don't want that. At all. Long live technology. Hell yeah. It's great when it doesn't want to work. Yes. No, don't sing us some old music. Okay, I got you. Hold on. Mod Podge. That's all you're gonna get from me. Okay. Unless you have audition. I do not. All out of that.
Okay, let's try this. What about now? Test.
Just talk.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk. It's is it coming through?
I think so. Yeah, I can hear you.
Just talk to yourself and
We're good.
thanks guys. Mod Podge the musical. Yeah. This was
Sponsored by Plaid.
This was a bit chaotic to begin with, but thanks for coming here, guys, and thanks to Zane for jumping in.
They're saying not loud enough. Are you able to adjust your output?
Make it louder.
Pump it up. Pump it up.
What about now? So, since we're here, just say hello to everyone. Okay, I don't think I can hear you now, Zane.
What was that?
No, okay, I got you. So just hello to the people in the chat, Charlene, Tina Martins, Dean Paintings, Campaign Terrain.
What up, everybody?
Let's see who else. Dimini Mason.
I don't know who that is.
I think I might have heard of him. We have to get him on here sometime. Campaign Terrain, hi Cross. Cross will be on here next week.
Oh, nice.
Zane Morgan Crafts, I wonder who that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Block him.
Let's see. And Gert from Dark Matter Workshop and Stefano. Hi guys. Good to see you here.
Welcome.
So today thought we'd have a bit of a talk about bad TV adaptations or bad movie adaptations.
Well, I can't speak on Wheel of Time because I've never read it or seen it.
Okay.
But that being said, Jurassic Park, great book, fantastic book. Would 10 out of 10 recommend to anybody. But the movies are still great, so I can't complain about that. But they are completely different than the books. So.
Did you ever watch anything apart from Jurassic Park? It's like the only movie you ever talk about.
You know how Michael has Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
I have Jurassic Park. That is my idol
Okay.
movie to watch in the background. So, yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm a dino nerd.
I think recently I've watched The Wheel of Time and The Witcher. The Witcher was season 2. Season 2 was kind of okay. It's not what I would call great. But The Wheel of Time was literally painful to watch. And weird thing about that was it had the budget, great actors, the sets were fantastic. But the writing was so bad. It was like they kind of threw out all the world building and stuff from the books.
Yeah.
And they added in some stuff which was like, why would anyone do that?
It's on. Is it on Amazon? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, just to give you an example, they put in this one character. So there's this guy who's a young guy in the books. For the TV adaptation, they made him a bit older and they had him married. So they introduced this wife character who he kills accidentally in the first episode.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah. For drama?
Yeah, that's literally the definition of fridging. I mean, it's literally a trope.
I mean, it's Amazon. I don't know. Like that's why I'm kind of scared for the Lord of the Rings
same here.
adaptation.
Same here. It should be out in September, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I've ever watched any Amazon original anything, so I can't really speak to their quality, but that's probably because I'm scared to watch an Amazon original.
Let's put it this way. It's coming out in September. I booked Mike for December to talk about it because I guess he'll need the time to calm down after watching it. Because let's put it this way, I'm not really hopeful for it.
Yeah. But I mean, it makes me wonder though if, say, like Netflix or something would have been a better job.
I don't know. I mean, like, have you watched Arcane on Netflix?
What is it?
Arcane. It's a 9-episode animated series.
No.
That was beautiful. I mean, like, beautiful animation, fantastic writing. It's a League of Legends adaptation, and I never played League of Legends, have no idea about anything about it, but it was just good television.
Okay, so it's animated.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of 2D art style, but very nicely done. And the rating in general was real good.
I'll have to check it out. I'm looking at stills from it right now.
Yeah, I think it's your kind of thing. It's kind of a steampunkish magic technology thing. It's real good.
I mean, I'm not really familiar with the mythos of the game League of Legends.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, like, I never played it or whatever, but it's the kind of thing where you can tell they're telling a good story without you necessarily knowing the background for everything. I mean, compared to, let's say, for example, the Assassin's Creed movie adaptation.
Or World of Warcraft.
Oh, I didn't watch it. How was that?
I don't know. I haven't watched it either because of the reviews. So
no, I just looked at the trailer and I was like, no.
Let's see. Dean said, Zane, do you have a don't be critical clause in your contract? No, I don't. I
Okay,
think I'm very critical of my company. Karl, I still want you to bump up your sound.
okay.
Arcane is amazing. I've
I
never
don't
played League of
think I
Legends.
can bump up the sound more. I'll have to see what the problem with the
Can you
headset
take
is
the
later.
microphone and just go like
I am currently basically inhaling the microphone. Hope this is
every
better.
breath? I want to hear it.
So,
Uh,
other than Jurassic Park,
mm.
what other?
Okay, so Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
I
that earlier.
Yeah, I read those books when I was a kid, alongside when I was actually reading The Hobbit and Lord of the Ring, or The Hobbit and Chronicles of Narnia around the same time. And funnily enough, Disney took over Chronicles of Narnia to combat the Lord of the Rings franchise. They wanted their own epic franchise. So they went off and tried to adapt Chronicles of Narnia. But if you've ever read Chronicles of Narnia, the books don't follow the same characters.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think I read them all up to the Silver Chair. I think.
yeah, and but Disney, they're like, oh, our audience won't be able to follow it, so they tried to add storylines around the same people, and it just kind of ruined uh the story, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, I mean,
but they're not really meant to be interconnected stories. So,
no, I
which
mean
is
I think the only recurring theme in the books are this parallel universe,
yeah,
and the line is Jesus. But yeah.
yep. Which I mean, I'm assuming I've never read the Similarium, but from what I've heard, it's not the same story. It's just like the mythos of everything. It's the universe.
Pretty
So
much, yeah. It's not meant to be. It's not an adventure. It's not. Guy starts from point A, goes to point B, does magic thing, goes back.
yeah. So I'm interested to see what they do with that and see how they try and connect it.
Mm.
Um,
I have the feeling that they're not going to try that. They're going to
yeah,
go for smaller episodes because
I hope not, because I think it would mess it up if they tried to link it with the Peter Jackson films.
uh, possibly. I think the only characters they mentioned that will be uh, same characters from Lord of the Rings are Elrond, Galadriel, and Sauron. So it's not
Yeah,
really that much.
that's good. Um, like the Fantastic Beast movie. Have you watched those?
I haven't. I think I've watched all the Harry Potter movies except the spin-offs.
Mm. Well, so they have young Dumbledore in Fantastic Beasts. So it goes from very, very old man
Hmm.
Dumbledore to Jude Law as Dumbledore,
Right.
and
Okay.
it's not that big of a span of time between the movies. And it's like, oh, he aged horribly, but he's supposed to be like, I don't know. That choice in acting really didn't like. I mean, Jude Law's fine, but Dumbledore, okay.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
mean,
like choices were made.
I don't know. I mean, Jude Law is a pretty flexible actor, but there's a limit to how much time skip you can put on him.
At least throw some old man prosthetics on him a little bit or age him a little bit more. I don't know.
I think, I mean, one of the weirdest adaptations, which was really good, in my opinion, is Lucifer.
Yeah.
Basically, they took the basic concept of the comic book series, just the
Hmm.
roughest idea, threw everything else out and just did something else. I was a bit disappointed at the beginning because the
I didn't know it was a comic.
oh yeah, it's a spin-off from Sandman.
Hmm.
Okay, so basically they just took the main character and the main couple of minor characters, moved on to an entirely different setting, and it kind of works because I mean Tom Ellis does such a great job. I mean, you can see he's having fun with doing it.
Yeah.
and kind of carries it along.
It's a funny show.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I'm trying to
Oh,
think.
Amie Root woke up.
There's an Amie Root.
Yeah, she's up.
Yay.
Okay, you're allowed to do the usual Zane thing.
What?
I said, when she shows up, you're allowed to do the usual Zane thing.
She texted me, I'm awake. I'm holding your place. I introduced my kid to the first Harry Potter movie. She now has several wands and Hermione dress up set. I mean, I would say Harry Potter is a good example of good translation. Is it perfect from the books to the movies? No. But they actually worked with the author. So it's very true to.
Fair enough, but again, if you take again Wheel of Time,
Yeah.
there are some authors who can pull that off. For example, Neil Gaiman.
Mm-hmm.
Every adaptation he's had, he's been on set running things, making modifications as needed. I mean, if you look at Stardust or Good Omens,
Hmm.
great adaptations. In some other cases, you get authors who just, I don't know, people don't really pay attention to them, maybe, or they can't throw their weight around as much.
Yeah.
I mean, in this case, for example, in the case of Wheel of Time, Brandon Sanderson was consulting kind of thing, but I'm pretty sure no one paid any attention to him. In fact, I don't think he's. I think he had his name taken off the credits, if I remember correctly.
Hmm. That's interesting. I really can't talk on anything Wheel of Time because I don't know
Yeah, it's okay.
any
It's
of it.
just that kind of
Amy,
thing.
get in here.
So yeah, you're. I
Uh,
think that was. If you heard that, that was a car outside. It wasn't me.
no, I didn't hear it.
Okay, good. So yeah, let's see. We've got. What about the Hobbit movie? Because I know Michael has strong feelings about it. I have equally strong feelings about it the other way.
I enjoyed The Hobbit. I mean, in my mind, The Hobbit is a kids movie because The Hobbit is geared towards children. So it
Mm-hmm.
has a much lighter tone. And I mean, I'm not a hardcore Lord of the Rings fan, but I enjoyed the movies. They're like, I can be nitpicky about them if I want to be, but I'm not like, oh my God, this was wrong and this. But it was a good popcorn flick for me. And I actively watched them in theaters. Like I would look forward to watching them in theaters. So I
That
can't
personally, I think it was just too long, way too long, and
too
too much
long.
filler material.
I mean, they're all pretty long.
And let's see. Uh, the Amazing, I didn't like Good Omens. I guess it's kind of an acquired taste. I mean, like, not many people like the book. Not as many people like the book as most of the other stuff. I think you've got
Hmm.
this thing where you've got Terry Pratchett fans and Neil Gaiman fans. Do you think that two of them collaborating would make a great thing? And in my opinion, it was, but I don't think it was to everyone's taste. Now, speaking of Terry Pratchett, for example, The Watch was an absolute train wreck. And I think that was Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
The Watch, is that what you said?
Yeah. It's based on some of the Discworld subseries.
I don't think I've seen it. The Watch season 1. This is BBC America.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, BBC America.
That's why I haven't seen it.
Basically, they took something which was already pretty dumb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what the Discworld is all about. It's about being dumb. And they dumbed it down even more. Oh, hello.
The only thing of the Watch that I've seen is the Neighborhood Watch with Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller. And
I don't think I watched it.
yeah, I don't suggest it. It's a Ben Stiller movie. I don't.
Hey, Amie.
Hello!
Hey!
I'm being maligned.
No, you're not.
Hi.
Come on.
I was told 12:45. I'm not late. I'm now technically early.
Yeah, we're just. I might have been temporarily confused.
I got out of bed just to hold your place, Root.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's probably
Okay,
a better
let me just
substitute.
sort you guys out. Because there's currently just half a Zane and half a Root showing.
I was watching the YouTube. There, I see you now. Hi.
Hello.
Do you want me to jump out, Karl? That way
No,
I can.
just you can stay here.
Okay.
Your company is always appreciated.
Yeah, hang out with us.
I said I'm Amie with a Y. So,
That makes sense.
yeah.
I mean, you can always talk about Jurassic Park if you like.
Oh, I had my
Root,
Jurassic Park shirt on.
Root has feelings about Jurassic World, so
I do.
Okay. Yeah, you can bring
Surprise,
it on. I mean,
surprise.
we're talking about all kinds of bad adaptations, so bring it on.
I mean, to be fair, Jurassic World's not an adaptation.
No?
They created that story just to continue the franchise, but they did
Crappy
take
sequel.
things. They did take things they didn't use from the book and try and make it work into the new movie. Just like Jurassic Park 3,
Okay.
which is known as a mutation
What?
and abomination of the franchise. But
Oh, look, we got a cool background. Oh, I can see you on the YouTube. On the YouTube.
on
Wow.
the YouTube.
Good morning.
So, Amie, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm awake. I'm alive. Everything's fantastic.
Yeah, it helps. So, are you ready to talk about your opinions on Wheel of Time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, bring it on. I have my.
Well, okay. So are we like talking about it with all the spoilers and all the rage, or are we talking about it in a sort of objective lack of spoilers?
Let's ask the chat.
Well,
Spoilers.
first, I have my emotional support text with me.
But
And yeah, to be honest, I mean, I don't mind giving spoilers for things I am actually saying people should not watch because they're garbage.
yeah, if you're in the chat and you want to watch the television show Wheel of Time, I don't know why you would, but go for it. And you don't want any spoilers because you haven't read the books, probably don't keep listening to us.
Yeah, or just keep listening to us. We'll probably
Very nice.
find a way to make it confusing anyway.
Yes, yeah. Well, I can judge it. I was trying to think last night, like how I would, because I was drunk reading The Eye of the World over again. My football team got crushed yesterday, and it was bad. So then there was much imbibing. I feel like even if I hadn't read the books, I still would think that television show failed.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying Zane, I mean, like, I think they threw out most of the world building and stuff, and then they added in a bunch of absolutely useless stuff that doesn't make any sense in whichever way.
Yeah. The first episode was really enraging, so then I rage quit from that. As far as bad adaptations, you think the Dark Crystal show is garbage? Oh no, that's a just total distraction.
Dark
I
Crystal.
really enjoyed it.
Cross
no.
with his unpopular opinion.
Oh no, I can understand. I will say that I have a strong nostalgia streak. So
For
like if
Dark Crystal?
something, yeah, so if something like I almost didn't hate Jurassic World just because of
Nostalgia.
all of the nostalgia they put in it, but then I thought about it
Yeah.
and was like, wow, this is terrible. Um anyway, sorry, Wheel of Time. Yay, Karl. um so I think I can't. If anybody out there doesn't know what fridging is, I have a hard time continuing on watching a show after they fridge a character. And that would be fridging is from mostly comic books. I think it originated out of Green Lantern.
Green Lantern, yeah.
They call it they call it fridging because the villain in Green Lantern took Green Lantern's girlfriend, murdered her, and stuffed her into a refrigerator. And then the entire arc of Green Lantern emotionally, I know, don't murder me. I'm just saying where fridging came from. Is
Jesus.
taking a female's death and making it all about adding emotional depth to the male character and not caring really about the female character at all. She's just a device.
She's in a fridge.
She's in a fridge. She's been fridged.
She's an appliance.
Yeah. And I feel like whoever made this Eye of the World television series, whether it be Amazon's fault or the showrunner's fault or the writers, I think it's the showrunner's fault, thought that they were pandering to feminist audiences by pushing female characters to the forefront, even though they chose to tell a story about a male protagonist, which they didn't then really do. But also they added, if you haven't read the books, they added Perrin's wife. That's not a character that actually existed. So they added a female character just to fridge her, which is like a really big no. If you're like trying to even like, she's not even a character in the book. She's completely
arbitrary. She's just like made up for the express purpose of getting killed.
Yeah, she's made up to be murdered. And then to make it worse, I was like, okay, they're trying to double down on one of like Perrin's character qualities is that he is a gentle giant. That's kind of his whole thing. And then he becomes has these wolf powers, and they make him sort of really aggressive, and he ends up murdering people and having to deal with, do I want to be someone who kills, or am I trying to be in the way of the leaf? Which in the books it's really not the way of the leaf. He kind of was skeptical. But anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, in the books it takes about I think it takes about 15 or 16 books to develop that entire plot.
Yeah, but there are lots of ways that a writer and director can tell you that a person is that sort of gentle giant just from him like trying not to bump into people on the street or being always choosing the like peaceful or kind thing. I don't know. I was just so angry that I almost didn't finish the first episode because the fridging came. I knew it as soon as they introduced me to a Perrin's wife who didn't really exist. The fridging came like immediately after, and then
I don't think she got even about more than one line of dialogue, maybe.
Yeah, no, she was there to be held as if she might be pregnant, and to have like stereotypical archetype of being the jealous wife. Which also that shenanigans, the love triangle shenanigans, does not exist in the book, which is also like even worse thing to do if you're gonna fridge the wife, because then you're like also he didn't necessarily love her fully. I don't know. I was like, wow, you made that completely useless. And then the opening line, just making it so that the dragon could be female or male.
Oh yeah, good, yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
I mean,
that doesn't.
The entire point of the Wheel of Time magic system is that men and women channel in different ways, and the entire thing about the Dragon Reborn is that he's a man who can channel. Even all the false dragons are men, and we hear the the one character who probably knows most about all this whole thing is this character, legendary character, who can only be a man or a woman? I'm confused. And it's like,
Well, okay, if I haven't read the books and I'm just watching the television show, so I don't know the lore yet, and I'm told at the beginning the dragon can be a man or a woman. I'm then told that when men channel, they go mad, and I'm told that the dragon might break the world, and that's the tension of the plot. So if a female is the dragon, then it's like, oh, sweet, world saved, great. Don't need any more of those books or television show.
Do you think that the aging of them has changed it at all?
Yeah, I think
that's
it was
been a controversy.
Personally, not much, to be honest, but why do you think it did?
I don't. Okay, so I understand. I understand that they're not actually age-wise that much older. Like, I get that in years, that's kind of where they're at. But if you read the books, a lot of the beginning of being introduced to them is the characters in relationship to their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of love of like being sheltered by your parents and working on a farm and living in a small town where what you do is for your community and that bond to your community. And I think when you have me immediately see the two characters like having sex in the like town hall and like aging them to the point of not necessarily like when they get attacked, they're fighting immediately. There is no like, oh crap, I've never been in a battle in my life. I like am a farmer, right? It's I don't know. I was like, that dude, parent's not a warrior. He's a blacksmith. Yep. Like that doesn't mean that like they've never had a war ever in their entire like fights barely even happen. They completely destroyed Matt's character and everything about him, and that is not with him, the actor leaving. Like I'm not even referring to him not going. I'm just talking about Matt's character in general from the books, and by aging him up and changing who he is, we lose a lot of the.
Where's that way?
Yeah, we lose a lot of the like levity and the joy of the story. It's like I don't know. I feel like it's like the people who were like, we're gonna do a Wheel of Time series for Amazon, were like, we want to make that Game of Thrones money, so we better start with like sex. It's got to be dark. We don't want like you miss out on so much of the joy of the book. And they also, a lot of their choices, they thought they were making to give the women more agency, but they actually made them worse. The female characters.
Hold on a thought. I mean, because one thing across so the Wheel of Time is the Dune arc. Kind of, but they're waiting for him to be reborn rather than trying to breed him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost some of the Aes Sedai politics is kind of Dune-esque, Dune-light, or like
definitely is. But again, for example, you mentioned that they wanted the women to have more agency, but again, 3/4 of the women in the series are like either kingmakers, powers behind the throne. I mean, they manage the national policy across the whole thing.
Yeah, in Dune. I think in Wheel of Time, there's a lot more like the Aes Sedai. First off, I want to say the actor who played Moraine in the TV show nailed it. She's amazing. Yeah, I actually don't regret watching the entire show just to watch her be Moraine. That was awesome. They do her dirty at the end there. The thing that happens at the end of the series to Moraine does not happen in the books, and I was like, I can't watch the second season if this is what they're gonna do to her. But she was incredible. Nynaeve, the actor who played Nynaeve, that was, I was like, that's spot on. That's what I thought. Except they gave her a weird backstory I didn't think was necessary, but whatever.
I think most of the actors did splendid jobs. I mean, it's just the stuff they were giving to do, which isn't really up to scratch.
Yeah. They were trying to push all of the female characters in a way that I didn't. I mean, they didn't need parents' dead wife. They didn't need her. They didn't need Egwene to be possibly the dragon because Egwene wants to train at the White Tower, and that was a really powerful choice to make against your own community. Was to leave without it being about some outside fate. Like she chose on her own to go do a thing. And in the books, the Aes Sedai are not. They don't like announce themselves everywhere they go the way they do in the movie. They like are really.
Yeah, they try not to mostly. I remember that.
Yeah, they're really like more covert about the fact that they're Aes Sedai, because a lot of places it's been so long since there's been a war of any kind that a lot of people either don't think that they really exist or think they're like bad witches, or there's like lore where they broke the world themselves. It wasn't the dragon. So I thought it was weird that they kind of took that out. I don't know. I could go on for so long about the book versus the television choices. It doesn't make any sense to let it be a man or a woman to be the Dragon Reborn, and it doesn't make the women any more powerful to give them a chance to be the dragon. It doesn't mean anything. It's mostly because Nynaeve is just as powerful as the dragon. It's just her fate is different. So, and there's different ways to be powerful as women than just able to kill the most Trollocs, you know? Like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, did you just think that was the only way to do that? Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. I mean, and it gets even worse if you look at the rest of the season, because it just gets it keeps going on in that direction.
Yeah. I don't know. They made some choices too where like they kill off. They did Tom dirty, like they did the Gleeman really dirty. I think everybody who loves fantasy should be pissed about the Bard. Should be pissed about the Gleeman. Should be pissed that he doesn't have this colorful cloak and does gymnastics and is an incredible storyteller. Like I don't. And is that it? Is that the end of him? Because like what? They sucked all brevity out of this show. They were like, we're not going to have any joy at all, which means that you don't have anything to lose. Stuff. Yeah, like why do I care about this world surviving if you don't? Yeah.
Do you want me to trigger you even more?
Go ahead.
No. Yes.
Amazon announced that the program has been renewed for a second season and claims that 8 seasons and a prequel film are in the works.
I mean, obviously that was gonna happen.
Jesus.
You know what's crazy? You know what's also crazy? So you want this show to be dark, right? Okay, cool. The prologue of the book opens with like complete and utter like almost genocide level magic murdering people.
I think I think it's more than almost. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's basically genocide, and it's like. Their flashbacks were like, we're going to have boring conversations about magic being male and female, but we're not actually following any of that lore. So why? Also, what the hell? Nope, I'm getting ramped up. Okay. I don't understand why we spent so long on crying warders. Like, I don't.
Oh, yeah,
why?
Good point, yeah.
It was like half an episode on a character that doesn't even impact the plot. People can understand this deep bond between warders without doing half an episode of slow decline into murdering yourself. Also, what kind of bullshit? What kind of crap is Nynaeve tracking Lon and then at the end being like, oh, let me tell you, Moraine has a tell. So let me tell you how to follow Moraine. Let me tell you how to follow your own Aes Sedai and you're a master tracker. So I'm going to get rid of all of the things that make me incredible by being able to track Lon, and I'm going to break lore by telling the person who's been with Moraine the longest.
Yeah, I mean, they've been working together for about 20 or 30 years at that point, yeah?
How does this even make sense?
Okay, I mean...
And then they, like, gleefully murdered characters that you need in the next season, so...
I mean, yeah, I mean,
they'll come back as brand new characters played by women.
They said...
played by women.
Okay, so one plot critical character gets killed in the last episode, like stabbed with a poison thingy and so on, and they've already said that oh no, he's not dead. They just clarified that after the episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I mean,
Is this like that Dead Not Dead Nynaeve, where you're like, oh, suddenly an untrained, less powerful Aes Sedai can just cure death?
possibly
Like, that's
yes.
always worked out. Fantasy fans love it when you pretend to murder people. If you're gonna go Game of Thrones and you're gonna laugh about killing people's favorite characters, then you should stick with it.
Yeah, I agree with
Hashtag
that. I mean,
season
it's very lazy plot writing.
Ugh.
And I mean,
Is that iced coffee?
Yeah.
It snowed, but iced coffee. No, I get it.
Well, okay. Listen, I was supposed to be here at 12:45, and then someone started calling me and was like, "You're late to the stream." And I thought, "No, I'm not. It's only 12:15. Uh-oh, I can't do anything without caffeine." So this was the fastest caffeine vessel.
Yeah, I think that was my bad. I think I messed up the time zones, but that's okay.
It doesn't matter.
We'll still be nice to you and just poke fun at you for being late always and so on.
I know. I'm not actually late always. That is not one of my tropes.
Sleeping is.
Yes, sleeping, yes, but not sleeping through things.
Unbreakable dead sleep. Yes. No.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's accurate. That's accurate. I did set like 7 alarms just to make sure I was up by 11. So, yep.
Were you awake when I called?
Maybe. When did you call me?
I don't know.
Really?
11:48.
Yes, but I sometimes silence my phone because I'm in a couple of group chats that.
I mean, you can say that you've blocked me. It's fine.
No, definitely not. I would not do that. You're way too much of an entertainment.
Oh.
Okay.
So, any other shows that you particularly like the adaptations of, or really dislike the adaptations of?
Okay, I am curious if anybody in the chat has read the. I have a lot of passions. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I just looked out at the chat for a second. If anybody in the chat has read the books for The Expanse, because I haven't read the books, but the television show The Expanse is one of my absolute favorite television shows. It's like ranks in my top 1 and 2, probably. I don't know. I'm starting to get anxiety about making a definitive statement like that. But top sci-fi show for me, The Expanse.
Okay. Is it better than Firefly?
Did you say is it better than Star Trek? Are you trying to get me internet like burned? Also, first off, which one?
Which one? Sorry.
I said also first off, which Star Trek?
No, I don't know. I'm not really a Star Trek fan. I asked if you think The Expanse is better than Firefly.
Yes, because there's more than 14 episodes.
Good point.
Also, we're on a rocky road with Joss Whedon, but I don't want to go down that path. Separating artist from art. Firefly was incredible, and I think that if you loved Firefly, nothing is better than Firefly. See, I told you, Karl, you're trying to get me internet burned. It's like, let's see if we can get Amie to say something she'll regret. I love Firefly. I think The Expanse is a different type of show. I think it's like got a lot more political intrigue mashed with space action.
Okay, that sounds good.
Slavka says nothing's better than Firefly.
I know. I saw. I can't. Nothing. I don't know. I have a, what do they call it? Decision paralysis when it comes to favorites. Oh, you got the... Okay, so Slavko got the first book for Christmas, like this Christmas?
I was given the first book for Christmas.
Okay, I need to look up The Expanse, but the last sci-fi show I watched was
it's
one episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop is amazing. I haven't watched the live action yet, though.
No, exactly. I mean, I love the animation way back. I think I watched it all several times, including the movies, but I couldn't stick out one episode of the live action.
Firefly's Joss Whedon, so that makes sense why it's good.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's like, I mean, as I have a tumultuous relationship with Joss right now, but I do love a lot of his stuff. Dr. Horrible's sing along blog was like one of it's still I can quote almost the
Cabin in the
entire.
Woods is one of my favorite movies. So
Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
I
Dr.
love The
Horrible was
Expanse.
Joss Whedon? Ah, okay, I didn't know that.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer was.
Buffy, Dr. Horrible, uh, Firefly, Cabin in the Woods. I'm missing one. I can't remember.
Angel, Avengers.
Oh yeah, Angel. Well, duh. I mean, that's like lumped in the same. But I'm trying to. I loved The Expanse until a certain scene, then just couldn't watch it anymore. I got so angry at the entire faction and no longer cared if they lived, died, or won or lost. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I think that if you watch The Expanse and you struggle with it or you hate a part of it, I am not
looking
surprised.
it up.
But it is one of my favorites. But I want to know, like, I know that they changed some of the characters a little bit in the television show, but I don't know the difference between the book and the television show. So I'm curious to see if I want to know if people feel about the Expanse television show as book fans the way that I feel about Wheel of Time. I don't think so as strongly because Wheel of Time just broke so many of its own rules that it wasn't logical, you know. So if I was watching it and I will say, okay, I was going to say a few good things about the show. In the book, you can't see the magic. Like, that's not, there's no, like, weaves or whatever they show in the television show. And I know a lot of people thought that was not great, but I actually really enjoyed that. I thought it was weird that they broke their own rules about, like, earlier in the show, they say something like men can't see women's weaves, and then throughout the whole show everybody could see everybody's.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a plot point in the book as well, because men couldn't even tell if there was a female channel in the area, and vice versa. I think making the weaves visible was interesting, but I think they went too much into the whole dancey, wavy thingy.
Yeah.
I don't know it, so whenever you say weave, I'm thinking hair.
Yeah. Yeah, they did these like light strands, and so when she would like gather from the source, it was strands of light, and the female side was white light, and the male side was black light. Black light? No, not like
Ooh.
I could see these. Yeah, it was a party, you know, that everyone regretted later because it broke the world. I will also the fight with the with Rand's mom while she's pregnant.
On the fight in the snow, yeah.
Yeah, my only complaint, and this is just a like person who watches comic books get turned into movies and they always remove the mask, is that for no reason whatsoever she pulls her mask down, and it's like really strict lore that they introduce in the television show, so it's not just me talking from the book. They talk about it in the television show that when the Aiel, I think is what how you pronounce it, are fighting and gonna kill someone, they cover their faces. So why? Just so we can see her, like, I don't know. I thought it would have been more striking if she pulled it down to give birth, which is like its own type of. Anyway. Yeah, but the fight was good. Was awesome.
That fight scene was really good. But that's another point. I mean, speaking of fighting, for example, you got the heron mark on the blade, yeah.
The which?
The heron mark on the blade. The one that Rand takes from his father.
Oh yes, yeah.
So that's supposed to be a really big thing, and even in the book, people keep remarking on it, like, "Where did you get that?" It's like they're only about 12 or something in existence, yeah. And in the show, it's just like, yeah, okay, you got one of those.
I got distracted too, but yeah. So the sword thing, I feel like if you watched the show, you were like, oh, it's a nice sword.
Yeah, with a
like,
pretty
you didn't
side
even
on
know.
it. It's like,
yeah, they made a lot of weird choices in that television show.
Yeah. Speaking of one of those weird things was in the beginning when Ren's father gets injured and he's taking him back to town. In the book, there's a whole sequence where he's down with fever and he's just talking, and he
Yeah.
drops hints about Rand being adopted.
Yeah.
And in the show, they put that in episode 7 as a flashback.
I didn't mind that they did like the flashback of all of the times that showed those things. I thought
the show
that could
hadn't
have
showed
been
all those things.
Yeah, I thought that could have been a reveal that was longer because they just did like flash instead of like going back and having him have scenes that we missed. Like the whole episode could have been all the things that we missed, telling Rand that he's the dragon and find out he knew the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you read the books, if you're like, oh, if you read the books, you kind of know because it's almost all from Rand's perspective. The first, at least 3/4. I think it was all from Rand's perspective.
I think most of the books are, except for a few chapters.
Yeah, the second and third book starts to give you more chapters of it because the women are separate from Rand for some of it, and you get to go see their journey. But
yeah, I mean, there was some weird writing in there.
I wish I could contribute to this.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if I've just dropped like 8 billion spoilers on anyone but you should read the Wheel of Time series, at least until Robert Jordan passed and Brandon Sanderson took it up. Not that it's bad, it's just not the same tone.
It's not OG.
The thing is that I was reading them in the early 2000s as they were coming out, late 90s, early 2000s, and when Jordan died, I thought, okay, I'd take a break from these, and I never really picked them up again. So that's about where I broke off. And no shit on Sanderson. I mean, his writing is really good.
Yeah.
There's 14 books.
Yep.
Oh, I thought that. Oh, wait. Is there 14 and a prequel? Or is it 14 with the prequel? Because I thought there was 15.
On Kindle, it's 14 books. I don't know.
I broke my glasses last week.
How did that happen?
I stepped on them. That'll do it, yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but in America, eyeballs aren't a part of our health insurance. Neither are our teeth most of the time, because apparently they're not important. So if you even have health insurance. Yes. So I am working with this wire, and I had chosen to do 2 colors that were close together because I wanted to give it depth, and now I'm like, and I just poked my face.
For the
oh, you're crafting?
I am. Well, I was trying to stay calm while I talked about Wheel of Time.
Wire.
Well, I had this idea yesterday when you guys were on Colin Crazy Crafter stream.
Yeah.
About like a shrine that was like the roots of a tree in a circle that you could kind of like go through, and
Amie
I wanted
Root
to see
roots,
if I could.
Yeah.
Well, I liked obviously it's on brand for me to like trees, but wire trees are kind of cool. I had one of those when I was a kid, the wire tree on a rock. You know, and then it had the gems like stones attached to the end of it. I think I probably still have it, even though most of the gems have fallen off because they were just like super glued, and it was from like a kitsch store in South Dakota or something. But I've always, kind of wanted to make one, and so I'm doing it. But it's red wire, and I've got all these like, and every once in a while I'll try to see, and I'll poke myself in the nose. Like,
yeah, I mean, you got to be careful with those wires because, especially the steel ones, once you cut them, they're just going to poke holes all over you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a root sword.
Hey! Oh yeah, I have all my swords over there.
Musketeer Forge ones.
I am Root.
I am Root.
I am Root.
They are great for clearing your Roxanne. Just saying.
They're for real. Yeah, you guys are talking about. I thought it was so ironic that yesterday Michael was like, "Yeah, no Etsy store. That's too much work." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "You're the one for months
Told
that
you.
was like, Amy, make an Etsy store, sell your swords." I see you,
Did you ever
Michael.
make an Etsy?
Oh no, no, no,
Okay.
no. I'm the type of person that's like all in or not at all. And I knew that I would be going back to work. And the
Yeah.
idea of trying to figure out shipping prices based on where I am in the country and taking all of the packaging stuff with me.
Yeah.
Actually, though, the packaging, I did buy some like little boxes to see and like maybe send as gifts. And it's really, really cheap when you make such tiny things.
Unless you're sending to
So-
Canada.
It was only like $14, right?
But
Last
like
time?
for that, like really shipping that.
$40 for a package
For
this small?
3 swords. They were 3 swords.
So it was
And
really
I-
just the box dimensions, not the
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah. It was just the cost of shipping.
Yeah, I mean, I think that does price out a lot of things.
Yes, Slavko was my first customer. It's very cute. Though I teach stage combat all over the place, and they usually have merchandise tables at some of the like workshops and stuff. And my friends were like, "You need to set up a mini version of a table with like all the little swords on like a tiny table."
Yeah, I mean, something like that does make a lot more sense.
Yeah, and then they would be in person. My only concern is sometimes the merchandise night is before the end of the workshop, and that people would like have all of these pins like in their clothes, pushing each other. So it's just like
Put the little like earring ends on the sharp end of the needle.
yeah, that's true. I could do that.
The little silicone pieces.
Cross, it was in the middle of the pandemic. I was not allowed in the country, or I probably would have just driven it.
Okay, speaking of swords, just a reminder, in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on the 6th of February, we're going to have a guest here, Franco, who's just published a book about swords. So if if anyone wants to throw any questions his way, they can just show up and drop them in the chat, or just send me a message and I'll get them to him beforehand.
What are swords?
They're kind of metal things you hit people with.
Why?
Or not, or
Why?
not hit
Why?
people with, if you hear me.
Swords.
There you go.
Yay!
It's the closest one in reach.
Let me see if I can sneak out. I've got some video footage for that time. I'll see if I can sneak something out.
This is the closest sword to me. So
You're welcome.
on guard.
Ah, I have a shield, like a little
Maybe even smaller sword.
appropriate sized little shield, and a miniature that Zane made me,
Yeah.
printed me.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, but question, Zane, maybe. I have this
Sure.
circle of roots at the bottom of this. Dude, oh, I can see now that there's a video happening. Should I not talk? I have this circle of roots now as the tree, right?
Mhm.
And I kind of want, why aren't you focusing on that? It's too shiny.
Okay, we see it.
And I kind of want, I don't know, to maybe figure out how to take these fake flowers and make them kind of go in a loop down the center like it's a whirlpool. But I don't know how to suspend them. Do I have to fill all this with like a resin? Or
I think you would have to, yeah.
Resin, or do like a fishing line or something.
Either that or 2 plastic circles. Get some clear acrylic and just sandwich the flowers in between them.
Or I mean, keep using the wire you're using, but just cover it completely with flour.
Yeah. Okay. And then do I put the flowers on the end of the tree, like on the pieces, or do I just leave it bare and then have it be flowers in the middle?
Depends on the aesthetic you're going for.
I know it's not really a shrine. Ooh, I'm gonna poke myself.
Don't put your. Okay, wire trees are not good for doing self-swab tests either, so don't stick them in your nose.
The first blood draw on Karl's streams.
Yeah, I gotta let
that's not
Tina
good.
have that one.
Okay, guys, so we're just over an hour, and I'm afraid I'm out of time. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zane, for jumping in. Hope to
You're
have you guys
welcome.
around again soon. Okay, and next week we should have crossover, so that's going to be interesting.
You're having a crossover. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay, thanks, guys, and thanks, everyone. Have a good evening or morning or day, whatever it is. See ya.
Bye.
Thank you.